The story begins with a war that claimed thousands of lives daily. It is said that alien beings first arrived on Earth in 2015 and began killing humans immediately upon arrival. These beings were not merely bipedal creatures easily fought. They were technologically advanced and extremely dangerous, rendering human weapons useless. Humans across the globe decided to put aside their conflicts and unite to fight these aliens, forming an army capable of confronting them. Major William Cage's mission was to encourage people to join this army, and he used numerous lies to achieve this. When thousands died in battle, he told the public that only a few had perished, and when he succeeded in killing a single alien, he exaggerated the achievement in the media, calling it a great victory. But the truth was that they were losing every day. One day, Major William was summoned to London for an important meeting with General Brigham. The general says, "Major, we're losing. Many soldiers will be killed. And when it's all over and their bodies are brought back, people will inevitably point at someone. I don't want those fingers pointing at me. So tomorrow, you'll go to the war and tell people what's happening there. Your camera crew is stationed outside. You'll be in the heart of the war, covering it." But William, the biggest coward of them all, says, "Why me, General? You could have sent someone else." In fact, William had been given this high rank in the army simply because the government needed someone who could lie to the public. But things had gotten so bad that now, let alone William, no one in the world could hide the fact that they were losing this war. The general was giving him a chance. When he died among the soldiers, he would be considered a martyr, not the biggest coward in history. William says, "General, I myself persuaded thousands of people to join your army, and I saw their bodies. I'm not a soldier. I'll die as soon as I get there." William blackmails them, saying that if they send him there, he'll expose them to everyone. But the general has already made up his mind. William is stripped of his rank. When William tries to escape, he's arrested. When he wakes up, he finds himself at London Airport, where preparations are underway to send soldiers to war. Out there, he might be a high-ranking officer, but here, nobody knows him. William tries to convince a stationed officer there that someone has made a mistake. He shouldn't be there. He wants to speak to his superiors. Farrell replies, "You talk too much. There might be a mistake. Let me get you to the phone." William thanks him profusely for his help, but he soon realizes he's not getting to the phone. "Where are you taking me?" he asks. Farrell shouts at him, "This message clearly indicates that you're a deserter and that you'll do everything you can to avoid going to war tomorrow." William realizes he's in serious trouble and that nobody can save him. He was then arrested and brought to the men he was supposed to go to war with the next day. Farrell caught them playing cards, a game strictly forbidden here, and ordered them to chew the cards as punishment. "William Cage is your new companion," he said. "He seems to think he shouldn't be here. I ask you to remove this illusion from his mind, and if he tries to escape, you can do with him as you see fit." He could do that. William had never dreamed that one day he would have to descend into the well he had dug for others for so many years. He had sent thousands of men to war, but the astonishing thing was that he knew nothing and had received no combat training. A man named Greff helped him put on his suit and told him to remove the safety lock before going down. William didn't know how to remove the safety lock. He asked them to help him, but removing the lock was so easy that everyone thought he was joking, so no one helped him. Even as they boarded the ship, William tried to escape, but they caught him. Then they were all brought back to the ship and taken to France. Everyone mocked William's appearance, with one even saying, "I see a dead body in William's suit." William asked them, "Tell me how to remove the safety lock." But at that moment, the hatch opened, and Farrell lowered them one by one. He ordered them to jump. Before they could unlock their locks, their ship was ambushed, and many soldiers were killed. William saw people being brutally cut and torn apart before his eyes. Before he could join the dead, he cut the rope and fell to the ground. When he regained consciousness, he found himself in the thick of battle. One of his comrades was excited to be back in the fight, but he was crushed under a plane. William saw a plane about to crash into him, so he ran with all his might and escaped. William saw Rita Fratsky, the bravest fighter among them all, but she too was brutally killed before his eyes. William tried to flee the battle, but Farrell grabbed him and said, "You're going the wrong way, my friend. Our enemies are ahead of us." William asks them again to remove the seatbelt, but they push him away, leaving him to die, and continue on their way. Everyone thought the aliens were coming out of their faces, but William saw that they were right at their feet. He tried to shout to warn everyone, but it was too late. The alien killed them all in one fell swoop. William somehow managed to remove the safety and kill the aliens. But the real trouble was yet to come. A blue alien appeared before him, the largest of them all. William realized he couldn't kill it with a bullet. Without hesitation, he picked up a suicide bomb lying nearby, and as the alien attacked, a powerful explosion tore the alien to pieces. However, William also died a painful death in the blast. The alien's blood, like acid, cut his face, killing him. But then, William opened his eyes and found himself back where it all began. He thought it had all been a nightmare. But then Farrell appeared before him and began telling him the same things he had told him when they first met. This time, William didn't argue with him at all, because everything was being repeated with extreme precision. He's so overwhelmed that he can't distinguish between dream and reality. He asks Farrell what day it is, and Farrell jokingly replies, "It's Judgment Day for you." Then he's introduced to the J-Squad. He sees that nothing has changed. He has no doubt that history is repeating itself. The next day, he's given the same uniform they were supposed to wear in the war. But William, wisely, removes the safety belt. After that, they're flown to France. William has a premonition that something terrible is going to happen. And it does. Their ship is attacked again, killing most of the soldiers. He realizes that everyone will die the same way they did before. So, he tries to save the man who was crushed under the ship's wheels the last time. But while saving her, he's killed again and returns to the same place where it all began. William now realizes that he's trapped in a time loop, so every time he dies, he's reborn. After that, he goes to war again, but he's no longer afraid. This time, he tries to save Rita, whom he failed to save the last time. But he gets injured trying. He asks Rita for help, but instead of helping him, she removes the battery from his suit and leaves him to die. William dies again, and the loop starts again. William is devastated. He does everything he can to stop Farrell from going to war, knowing that no matter what he does, they are all going to die. "Your lives are all in danger," he says. But they think he's gone mad. They tape his mouth shut before he goes to war. William screams and tries to tell them the plane is about to explode. But as usual, no one listens. Then he goes to Rita again, thinking she'll understand. But before he reaches her, he's killed in different ways. With each death, the loop starts again. Finally, he reaches Rita. He fights the aliens so fiercely that Rita realizes he's no ordinary soldier. She asks him to come see her when he wakes up. Then there's an explosion, and the loop starts again. William has lived through this scene hundreds of times. That's why, this time, instead of arguing with anyone, he decides to befriend everyone. He knew a lot about everyone, and he used this knowledge to impress them all. But his true intention was to escape. The next morning, during physical training, William waited for the right opportunity. But as he tried to escape, he was crushed under a car, and the vicious cycle began again. The next time, he tried again, and this time he succeeded. Rita asked him to come see her first thing when he woke up, but when he appeared before her, she didn't recognize him. "How dare you come here without permission?" she said. "You asked me to see you," William told her. She immediately understood what he meant. "Don't tell anyone about this but me, or you'll be thrown into a mental institution or sent to a research lab," she said. What was happening to him was happening to her too. But this time, he could win this battle. Rita took William to Dr. Carter, who was the most knowledgeable about extraterrestrial biology. Carter told him that these aliens weren't an army. They were all one, connected to a single mind called Omega. This mind had the power to control time. Whenever an alpha dies, a signal automatically reaches Omega, and Omega begins the day anew. But he remembers everything from the past. He remembers how he died last time and does his best to prevent it from happening again. The one William killed was also an alpha, the rarest of them all. So rare that there is only 1 in 6 million. When his blood spilled on William, he too gained the ability to begin the day anew, just like Omega. William asks, "If it's true that we can't defeat them, what was the point of winning the final battle?" Rita explains, "We didn't win. They let us win so we would believe we did." He wanted humanity to fight this war with all their might. When we exhausted all our weapons and humanity had nothing left to fight with, then they would make their final move. William asks, "How do I use this power now?" Rita replies, "You have to die. Every day you will have a vision of Omega. Then you must take us there to kill him." Rita then trains William to fight. He could die many times during training because once he died, the day would begin again. During one of these training sessions, he broke his back, and Rita told him something important. "You mustn't get hurt in battle," she said. "You either live or die so the cycle can start again. The last time I fought, I was hurt, and when I regained consciousness, I was in the hospital receiving a blood transfusion from someone else, which drained my energy." Then she shot him. The day began again, and Rita shot William the same number of times he had been hurt during training. In this way, he died several times, and during that time, William had visions of Omega. He returned to Rita and told her he had seen her near a dam, possibly in Germany, because of the German inscriptions. But to get there, they had to win tomorrow's battle. William went to the beach again the next day to fight, but he was quickly killed. The next time he went, he was killed again. He is attacked from all sides, in countless ways, so many that he can barely remember them all. Every time he crosses the war zone, Rita is killed, and then he kills himself. He dies so many times that he loses the will to fight. His heart is so broken that life seems like a punishment. This time, when the vicious cycle begins, he doesn't tell Rita that he has superpowers. He gives up everything, runs away, and sits in a bar, drinking heavily. But even this doesn't change his fate. Because he failed to go to war, the aliens win and attack the city, killing William again. The vicious cycle begins anew, but now he is furious. He tells Rita, "This isn't the first time we've met. No matter how hard we try, no matter how much we plan, we can't get through this time." But Rita urges him to try again. The next day, William goes into battle once more. He has fought this battle so many times that he knows the timing of each one. Calm in his style. His colleagues are stunned to see William fight like this. Finally, they cross the timeline. They need a way to move forward, and William knows it. They wonder which car would kill them if the aliens captured it. There was only one car they hadn't tried yet. They quickly got in and drove off. The aliens attacked, but they survived this time. On the way, William talked to her at length, but Rita wasn't one for much conversation. Their car soon ran out of fuel, forcing them to continue on foot. Rita tried desperately to find another car, but she spotted an old helicopter that could get them to Germany faster. William refused to start the helicopter, but then she saw that he was badly injured. Rita wanted to find the keys quickly and escape. William said, "The car has full fuel. I just checked. Why don't we use it?" Rita was too tired and badly injured, so she asked him to start the car. But as she raised her gun to kill William, he said, "Wait, don't shoot. Let's stop and rest for a bit." Rita gave him 10 minutes. After that, she would shoot him. Meanwhile, William made her a cup of hot coffee. As he stirred the sugar into her coffee, she realized something was wrong. "How many times have we been here?" she asked. William didn't answer, standing silently, implying that this wasn't the first time. The key was in his pocket, but he was deliberately hiding it. Rita rushed to start the helicopter. But William told her, "Don't. As soon as you start it, they'll kill you. That's what happens every time. Only one of us survives." In fact, William had experienced this moment with her so many times that he had fallen in love with her and didn't want to lose her. Whatever happened, only one of them could make it through. But Rita ignored him and started the helicopter, and then the aliens attacked. William couldn't save her this time either, and the cycle began again. William returned to Rita once more, but this time he left without a word. Then he went to war alone, but his rage was so intense that he didn't save anyone. All he wanted was to find Omega and end it all. After killing everyone, he reached the helicopter and boarded it to Germany. He had seen this very place in his visions. But as he approached, an alien attacked him and knocked him from his weapon. Despite this, he pressed on, only to find Alpha waiting for him. William saw no other way out and considered suicide. But Alpha stopped him and inflicted fatal injuries. William was bleeding profusely. If he didn't die quickly, he would lose the ability to rewind the day to the beginning. Alpha tried to stop him, but William dove into the water, restarting the cycle. William told Carter that Omega wasn't where he should have been. These visions were a trick to steal his powers. Carter said, "Now there's only one way, but it's impossible." He made a transducer that, if fitted to Alpha, would connect directly to Omega, allowing them to pinpoint his location. But the problem was, he only made a sample, which the general kept. Then William and Rita went to the White Room. This was a heavily guarded area, so whenever they were caught, William would restart the circuit. Now he knew exactly how to get in without being stopped. They reached the general's office, and at gunpoint, they ordered him to sit. The general did just that. Then William explained in detail everything that would happen in this room in the next minute. But even this wasn't enough to impress the stubborn general. No matter what he tried, the general would never give them the device. Rita picked up her gun to restart the circuit, but William refused to shoot it. Then he tried again, and this time the general gave in and handed them the device. They had never been this far before. But before he could think of anything, they would be captured. Rita would have to kill him and start all over again. This time, they try to escape by car, but William connects to the device, which also possesses alpha powers. Once connected, the device automatically transports him to Omega, where they discover him. He claims to be in Paris. But before they can escape, William is shot and their car crashes. When he regains consciousness, he discovers he has been transfused with someone else's blood, causing him to lose his powers. Rita approaches him and is about to kill him, but William tells her he can't turn back time. This time, it's all over. They escape together, but they only have 3 hours to stop Omega. This means they need a plane to reach Paris and some soldiers to help them fight. William knows some of these soldiers, but convincing them isn't easy. He tries his best to convince them that he's from the future and that they will die tomorrow. But none of them believe his story. He knew it would be that way. That's why he brought Rita with him. As soon as she saw him, they all agreed to go with him. William couldn't bring himself to tell them the whole story. He simply told them that whatever happened, they shouldn't kill Alpha, because if they did, the day would start all over again, and they wouldn't even remember talking about it. They reached Paris quickly, but as soon as they arrived, aliens attacked their plane. Everyone jumped out before it crashed. However, William fell into deep water, damaging his spacesuit. He crept forward and discovered that Omega was still far away. Most of his comrades were injured. They asked William what to do next. William told them to fire a plane parked nearby. It couldn't fly, but it would get them to Omega in minutes. They cleared the way and tried to start the engine. Greff, who had injured his leg, decided to stay behind to help. Everyone urged him to come with them, but he knew staying put would be better for the mission. As soon as the engine started, a large number of aliens began approaching them. But Greff and his friend bravely faced them and ultimately sacrificed themselves. Meanwhile, William, along with the others, was advancing rapidly toward Omega. They too were attacked, but somehow managed to infiltrate the inside. Only the two of them remained, and this was their last chance to destroy Omega. The aliens desperately tried to stop them, but they detonated a massive grenade, temporarily blocking the path down. "Alpha must be coming this way," William said. "I'll distract him and you blow up Omega." But Rita knew he'd be killed in 10 steps. "You're a great man, William," she said. "I wish I'd gotten to know you better." Then she turned and left, but Alpha chased after her and tore her to pieces. Now it was William's turn, but before he could be caught, William jumped into the water and tried to swim to Omega. But before he could get any closer, Alpha did. He stabbed him in the chest with his sharp claws, killing him. He thought he had won. But before he died, William pulled the pins from the grenade, causing a massive explosion that, in seconds, obliterated Omega and all the aliens associated with it. This explosion completely destroyed their network, causing the aliens to vanish from Earth overnight. Meanwhile, we see William's body floating in Omega's blood, which restores his powers, and the cycle begins anew. This time, when William awakens, he sees that the world is no longer the same. They have won the battle. The general explains that he, too, doesn't know what happened, but now he sees no trace of the enemy. William then arrives at the airport. This time, he holds a higher rank, which is why he is greeted by senior officers, including Farrell. There, he sees his comrades who helped him win the battle, but unfortunately, they remember nothing. William then goes to Rita, who greets him in the same way she always does. She asks him, "What do you want?" But William has a long story to tell her. He doesn't know where to begin, so he simply smiles.